water, and it's because of this. So we'll go inside there, I think.
Stay how it's Bob Armstrong. Pleasure to meet you. Thanks.
And the ambassador over here.
You look lovely. Hi, Ambassador. Very good to see you.
Good morning. How are you? Good to see you again.
Sit down. Good morning, Senator. How are you?
Listen to your speech.
Nice to see you again. Yes.
Welcome to Canada. Glad to have you here.
He was the former Minister of
Justice Administration.
and also Minister of
I was everywhere. Maybe I go back one day. It's great to see you in the
Left there. All I was Shirley, can I introduce you? One financial secretary. Shirley Benny.
Did you taste it?
Jersey ambassador.
It's good.
Perfect. Shirley's going to be sitting beside you.
Ambassador, where were you over the weekend? Thank you.
Tosan, yeah, not the video, yes, I'm fine.
You went to Los Angeles?
Are you?
Last year, right?
We're reading about vis-a-vis hotels and
Were you the council general?
Is that in Hong Kong where they quarantined the Canadian students?
Well,
And so it makes it challenging for us.
Or you say, oh, you're right here.
I think we met someone in
Calgary. Yeah?
but I think you're right on it.
Please be seated. We'll begin our program momentarily.
So sad. Yeah, that's actually.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Hong Kong Canada Business Association, I'd like to welcome you all to our Hong Kong Forum this morning. My name is Kenneth Wong. I will be your MC this morning. And on behalf of the association, we'd like to extend a special welcome to especially all the out-of-town guests who have been arriving over the weekend to attend our national board meeting for the HKCBA over the weekend. And we would like to, at this time, begin the program by showing you a video from the Hong Kong Tourism Bureau. Please. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome you all to this spectacular new building called the Vancouver Convention Center. And for those of you who are out of town, I encourage you to please take a moment during the breaks to walk around the building. And of course, if you're from here, you can still take a break and walk around this spectacular new structure. This new structure now twins us with the beautiful Victoria Harbour in Hong Kong, because Harbour in Hong Kong is also marked by a landmark called the Convention Center right on the harbour. So we have something in common right now. Today, we're also here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the HKCBA, and we are very fortunate to have many out-of-town guests and a lot of guests of honor to join us this morning. To introduce some of our guests, I'd like to invite, first of all, to the podium, our National Chair of the HKCBA, Mr. David Holt, please. David?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. As Kenneth said, this is an exciting time for HKCBA. This is our 5th annual forum, which we've conducted now across Canada from Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Edmonton. And so we're very pleased to be able to have this event here in Vancouver. Both is an auspicious time because we're just leading up to the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. This is, of course, going to be as the media center, I believe. So I was looking in my pocket. I was saying to someone today, I guess I don't change my suits enough. But I was here on April the 7th when the Premier spoke, and that was, I believe, the inaugural event for this facility. So we're very pleased to be able to host this event here and get all of you an opportunity to see what has just been constructed, and I think that all of BC is very proud of. I think, as Kenneth also mentioned, it is HKCBA's 25th anniversary. The foresight of a group of people 25 years ago to get together and say, you know, let's try and put together a trade association that works to facilitate trade between Hong Kong and Canada, and then over the ensuing years, of course, to broaden that view to include Greater China as China's emerged over the last 10 years. So it's very exciting for us today to have both the ambassador and later on today the financial secretary speaking to us. So really hope that you enjoy the day. We have a number of excellent speakers that will be participating in various breakout groups. So encourage you to attend and hopefully use the opportunity to meet new people and to learn a bit more about the other side of the Pacific. Of course, none of this is ever possible without the support of many sponsors, and I would just take a moment to acknowledge the platinum sponsors, which are Business Development Bank of Canada, RBC Royal Bank of Canada. The gold sponsor is PCCW Global. We have, of course, support through special sponsorship through the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office. Our luncheon sponsor is the Hong Kong Trade and Development Council. Silver sponsor, Invest Hong Kong. Bronze sponsors include Blake Castles Graydon, LLP, Magnum Uranium Corp., Price Waterhouse Coopers, LLP, Sauder School of Business, UBC, Trans-Pacific Customs Brokers, and then, of course, our grand prize sponsor and longtime supporter of HKCBA, Cathay Pacific Airways. The official Canadian airline is WestJet Airlines. Video contributors, Hong Kong Tourism Board, and media sponsor is a Canadian Business Magazine. Without all those folks' support and yours attendance today, these things are very hard to do, and on behalf of the HKCBA National Board, thank you very much for coming today, and hope you enjoy today's activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. We're very fortunate this morning to have greetings from all three levels of the government. To begin, we would like to invite the Honourable Jack Austin to the stage to say a few words on behalf of the federal government. Please welcome the Honourable Jack Austin.
Good morning, everyone. I won't leap up on the platform as David Paul did. I have to respect my knees. It's a great pleasure to be here and to welcome you, first of all, to my home city, Vancouver, and this beautiful facility, which, as David has said, is brand new, and the people of British Columbia have a lot of aspirations for the use of this facility. I can tell you that the sales of convention facilities here have taken off. Vancouver is going to be on the convention map. And we have ambitions vis-a-vis Hong Kong in the future to come here as well. Ambassador Lan, Consul General, John Tsang, Financial Secretary, welcome here to this event. I'm standing here on behalf of Canada. I think Mr. Harper would be a little surprised if I was speaking for his government, but certainly as a long-time public servant, there's no partisanship in saying on behalf of all of us in Canada, welcome to Hong Kong, welcome to engagement in our business life. I first went to Hong Kong in 1958 as a young lawyer. It was an exciting experience. I can remember it. I don't think there's anyone in this audience that can remember Hong Kong in 1958. But it had a buzz then, and that buzz has simply grown and grown to make Hong Kong today one of the top financial capitals in the globe. We talk in Vancouver about Vancouver being the gateway to Asia Pacific, but we learned the word gateway from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is our gateway to Asia. Hong Kong has talked about gateway, and it's been a very effective way to portray Hong Kong. I have to confess on behalf of Canadians that as much as Hong Kong Canada Business Association and the Trade Development Office draw our attention to the advantages of Hong Kong, Canadians have not been as swift as I would like them to have been to take advantage of the opportunities that Hong Kong offers to do business in Hong Kong, of course, to do business in China, but also to do business elsewhere in Asia. Hong Kong is an amazing center of activity. I have been going to Hong Kong, well, I guess over 100 times, maybe 200, I can't remember. I have many, many friends in Hong Kong, so I do speak with a bit of knowledge of the vitality of that community and the aid they can give Canadians in doing business throughout Asia. So congratulations, thank you for bringing this annual meeting, David, to Vancouver, and thank you for raising the profile of Hong Kong and its many advantages and opportunities to Canadians. And thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those kind words, and it is great to hear from someone who has seen Hong Kong in earlier days and see how it has transformed into the 21st century that we know now. Our next speaker will be from the province, Premier Gordon Campbell, but as many of you know, there is a provincial election coming up next week, so he is somewhat occupied, but he has kindly agreed to send us a message via video, which we will show it to you now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gordon Campbell, Premier of British Columbia. On behalf of all British Columbians, I'd like to welcome you to the brand new Vancouver Convention Centre for the Hong Kong Canada Business Association National Forum. In these challenging economic times, the Hong Kong Canada Business Association is doing exactly the right thing, looking for opportunities to expand our trade with countries in the Asia Pacific. And with your focus on small and medium-sized business, your association and this forum are working directly for the real drivers of our economy. Thank you for your work, for your commitment, and for your belief in the strength of British Columbia. Working together, we'll will come out of these difficult economic times even stronger. Have a great forum.
Next, representing the beautiful city of Vancouver, we have Councillor Carrie Tsang to please say a few words on behalf of the city. Councillor.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm delighted to be here and bring you greetings from our Mayor, Gregor Robertson, and all of Vancouver City Council. You know, I was watching the Discover Hong Kong video the other day, just now, and I was kind of laughing to myself because on Thursday, I think my wife saw it on TV because I came home yesterday and she'd booked 2 tickets to Hong Kong, and we're staying at the Langham Place on in the end of May. I think her spending habits alone will ensure the Hong Kong economy will be very strong next year. It's wonderful that you're here. I mean, during these tough economic times, as we keep hearing about, you know, we know that Vancouver and Hong Kong have a lot of ties, not only personally, but business and economically. And this is the time in which we should work those ties. I mean, it was struck to me, one thing nice about being a city councillor is that you actually see things that happen on the ground. You know, the Premier talks about things from a provincial level, the federal government talks about it at that national level. But when you're city councillor, you actually see things happening on the ground. And one of my friends, he's a tourist, he came up from San Diego over the weekend, and he said to me, he goes, you guys must have a lot of ties with Asia in Vancouver. And I says, why? Well, I was driving down this part of town and I thought I was in Chinatown. Then I was driving through another part of town, I thought I was in Chinatown. And I was driving over here and I thought I was in Chinatown. And I says, well, yeah, that's exactly it. We have these huge ties, and let's take advantage of those now so we get through these tough economic times. So Vancouver and Hong Kong both will prosper in the future. And on behalf of Mayor and Council, welcome to Vancouver, and enjoy the city, and have a successful conference so both our cities will grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Yes, they don't know, but the Chinese are planning to take over the city. Next, representing the government of the People's Republic of China, we have from the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China, Consul General Liang Shugan, to please come to the stage.
His Excellency, the Chinese Ambassador, Mr. Lan Yijun, Mr. John Tsang, JP, Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong Special Administration Government, former Senator John Austin, and Mr. Carrie Tsang, City Councillor representing the City of Vancouver, and of course, the most important person today is Mr. David Paul, the National Chair of the Hong Kong Canada Business Association. And there are so many distinguished guests that I could not acknowledge one by one. So everybody, good morning. It's my honor to be here to say a few words. The Hong Kong Canada Business Association is organizing today's forum at this time and in this beautiful place. And here, on behalf of the Chinese Consulate and as the Consul General in Vancouver, I would like to offer my warm welcome to Vancouver. I join you, Carrie, to welcome all the guests across Canada to come to Vancouver. Ladies and gentlemen, when we look over the current economic climate, we should agree that closer economic cooperation with major countries is required. Between China and Canada, striking progress has been achieved in trade, investment, and many other fields over past decades. Nevertheless, there's still significant room to be improved. Hong Kong, with its strong and growing economic ties with both mainland China and Canada, is bound to play a greater role in the future, and businesses across Canada with Hong Kong conditions today come together will surely add impetus to the China-Canada trade relations. As the gateway to the Asia-Pacific region, BC has more economic interests in China than any other Canadian provinces. Over the past 10 years, BC's exports to China rose up by 247%. Now China is BC's third largest customer after the US and Japan. This data, I believe, partially underpin HKCBA National Board's decision of choosing Vancouver as this forum's venue at the 25th anniversary. The Chinese consulate, as always, will do its utmost to contribute to the comprehensive development of relations between China and Canada. So once again, welcome to Vancouver and enjoy the rest of the forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Consul General. Next, representing the Hong Kong SAR government, we'd like to invite the Financial Secretary, Mr. Tsang, to the podium to say a few words.
Ambassador David, good morning, everyone. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to join you all today for the forum. I'm delighted to be back in Vancouver. It has been some time since I was last here. When I was here last, this building did not exist. So it has been some time, and it is a great delight to be back. And I'm also very delighted to see so many friends of Hong Kong here. It reminds us all of the close ties between Hong Kong and Canada, despite the physical distance between us. And for those of you who are exploring the Asia-Pacific market for the first time, I'm sure that you'll find today's event particularly useful. The theme of today's forum summarizes what's on the agenda for many Canadian companies in this difficult economic environment, namely challenges, opportunities, and the potential for international partnership. The forum will highlight the opportunities across the Pacific in Hong Kong and the mainland of China in the face of the global financial turmoil. The current economic downturn has inevitably affected all of us, no matter where we are or what kind of business we are engaged in. Beyond this, we see ample opportunities for those who are ready to embrace the challenges and reach out to other markets, establish new connections, and expand their businesses in uncharted waters. I'd like to thank the Hong Kong Canadian Business Association for organizing this event today. And I would like to congratulate the association on its 25th anniversary. Over the years, the association and its members have given unfailing support to Hong Kong, and they have worked tirelessly to promote bilateral trade between Hong Kong and Canada. I shall be speaking with you again later on, I think at lunch today, and I look forward to engaging again at that time. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tsang. And as he mentioned, he will be our keynote speaker today at lunchtime, at which time we look forward to his insight on the relationship between Hong Kong and Canada. At this point, we'd like to invite you all to please enjoy your breakfast. We will return to the podium shortly thereafter to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. Thank you very much. At this point, I'd like to move to our next part of the program. To introduce our keynote speaker, I'd like to once again invite Dave Paul to the podium to introduce the ambassador from the People's Republic of China. Dave?
Good morning again. What I'd like to start off with at this point and just take a moment to recognize our head table guests. And what I'll be doing is introducing them if I can for a few minutes, and then maybe we could hold our applause till then. The first one, and maybe he's disappeared on me, I didn't warn him I was doing this, but the Councillor Kerry Tsang of the City of Vancouver, of course. I don't know if he's left or still there, but wherever he is. Next that I'd like to introduce and be acknowledged is the Consul General Liang Shugan, Consulate General of the People's Republic of China. If you'd stand, please. Sitting beside the Consul General is Ms. Maureen Su, Forum Honorary Chair of HKCBA and Director of Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office Canada of HKSAR Government. Maureen. Sitting beside Maureen is the Consul General Doreen Steidel, who is Consul General of Consulate General of Canada to Hong Kong SAR and Macau SAR. Beside Doreen is Mr. George DeSamis, who's a Regional Vice President of RBC Royal Bank. Beside George is Mr. Reggie Lang from WestJet. And going around again, on this side of the table is Mr. Stephen Wong, who is Regional Director Americas of Hong Kong Trade Development Council. And beside Stephen is Ms. Shirley Benny, who's Vice President and Area Manager of Business Development Bank of Canada. And beside her is His Excellency Lan Li-Jun, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Canada. And Mr. John Tsang, who is, of course, the Financial Secretary of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Regional Government. And beside him is the Honorable Jock Austin, Special Advisor to Stern Partners, Inc. And last but not least is Mr. Bob Armstrong, who is the National Vice Chair of HKCBA, as well as being President of SEL Canada and President of Armstrong Trade and Logistics Advisory Services. Ladies and gentlemen, our head table this morning. Thank you. What I would like to just ask everyone, there will be volunteers circulating the room. We hope to have a little bit of time for Q&A of the ambassador, but we'll see how the time schedule works, but certainly in the interest of trying to respect his time, because he's actually visiting us for a short time and heading back to Ottawa midday, so we have him for a short period. Anyways, there should be pads and pencils on your tables, and we'll have some volunteers circulating to pick up any of the questions that you may like to have us direct towards the ambassador. So I would ask that if you think of anything, please write it down. It's now my pleasure to introduce His Excellency Li-Jun Lan, Ambassador of People's Republic of China to Canada. His topic today will be Stronger China, Hong Kong, Canada Tri-Partnership Response to Today's Economic Challenges. His Excellency is currently the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Canada. He was the Chinese Ambassador to Indonesia from 2005 to 2008. He was a Minister of the Chinese Embassy in Washington, D.C. from 2002 to 2005, and Consul General ambassadorial rank of the Consulate General of China in Los Angeles. His other assignments abroad include Vancouver and Trinidad and Tobago. He previously served as the Director and Deputy General Manager of the Department of North American and Ocean Affairs, Deputy Director of the Department of Latin America and Caribbean Affairs, and held a number of other positions within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Canada. Speaking to the ambassador, I think he mentioned that he spent a good portion, probably 2/3 of his career overall in North America, and so I think we're very lucky to have him as the ambassador to Canada, because he certainly understands North America, can add his perspective. So he is a native of Jiangxi Province. I pronounced that poorly, I apologize. Ambassador Lan received his MA in Public Administration from Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University, and a BA in English Literature from Beijing Foreign Studies University. And as mentioned, he's also done some graduate studies at Queen's University and McGill University from 1974 to 1976. Please join me in welcoming Ambassador Lee Jun Lan, please.
David, thank you for your warm introduction. Honorable Senator John Austin, a very good long-time friend of China and myself. We worked on many occasions for the high-level visits back in the 1990s. Honorable John Tsang, Financial Secretary of Hong Kong SR, and also many distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure to return to Vancouver again, since I assume I posted about 10 months ago. This is already the third time, not counting my connecting flights at the Vancouver airport. That shows I have a special interest in Vancouver. Back in the 80s, I worked with our Consul General, Mr. Liang, together in our consulate here for 4 years. So the time we spent here certainly left a very profound, good memory on both my wife and myself. So it gives me a great pleasure to return and to be here this morning at the Hong Kong CBA National Canada-Hong Kong Business Forum. And also, I wish to thank you for inviting me to join you all on this unique occasion and the opportunity to pay tribute to outstanding and visionary people who have been so vigorously committed to promoting trade and exchanges among China, Hong Kong, and Canada. The past 25 years proudly witnessed the growth of a distinguished and a vibrant organization. It takes an enormous amount of wisdom, effort, and courage for an organization to get through economically and politically challenging periods and come out better than it ever was. Hong Kong CBA is a fine example of what we can achieve and what we should look up to. So please accept my warm congratulations. This year's forum is held in Vancouver, British Columbia, the gateway, as many of you have mentioned, for Canada to Asia and the Pacific region. I think that Vancouver is also a major city nearest to China from Canada. I wish to commend you for selecting such a unique and strategic location. Well, the past several months have been truly eventful for the world economy. The sudden collapse of U.S. subprime mortgage market and the reversal of the housing boom have transformed themselves into a full-blown economic crisis worldwide. China, like other developing countries, is experiencing the ripple consequences of the crisis. The international financial crisis has brought unprecedented difficulties and challenges to China. We are experiencing greater downturn or downward pressure on economic growth. China's growth dropped from the impressive 11.9% in 2007 to 9% in 2008 and to 6.1% in the first quarter of this year. Imports and exports have been on the decline. The total trade volume of imports and exports in the first quarter of this year was down by 24.9% year-on-year. Industrial production has noticeably slowed down. Foreign direct investment inflows waned. Some enterprises are having a hard time in the production and the business operation. And employment is becoming more and more difficult. This crisis coincides with a crucial juncture in China's efforts to transform the growth pattern and adjust the economic structure. New challenges, coupled with existing problems, have made our task all the more arduous. The impact of the unfolding crisis on China's economy is real, but it cannot be over-exaggerated. To counter the international financial crisis and maintain a steady and relatively fast economic development, China has made timely adjustment to its macroeconomic policies, swiftly adopted a proactive fiscal policy and moderately easy monetary policy, and formulated a package plan to expand domestic demand and boost economic growth. We have substantially increased government spending, introduced a 2-year investment plan totaling 4 trillion RMB, and carried out structured tax cuts. And we have repeatedly lowered interest rates and increased liquidity in the banking system. We have implemented industrial restructuring and the rejuvenation plan on a large scale and vigorously promoted scientific innovation and technological upgrading. We have worked hard to conserve energy, reduce pollution, and protect the eco-environment. We have also made further efforts to adjust the distribution of national income and work energetically to expand domestic markets, especially rural markets. And we have significantly raised the level of social security. So these measures are producing positive initial results, including fairly strong domestic consumption demand, steadily rising investment demand, and overall social stability. It shows that China's approach in response to the financial crisis is pragmatic, and the policies are active and effective. The array of measures adopted by China will have a positive impact on not only its own economy, but also on the economy of region and the world at large. Despite the continued adverse impact of the international financial crisis on China's real economy, neither the fundamentals nor the positive long-term prospects of China's economy have changed in any major way. And the foundation supporting China's sustained and relatively fast economic growth remains solid. Thanks to continuous and rapid development over the past 30 years of reform and opening up, China has built a fairly strong material foundation and further improved the institutional environment. There is great scope of infrastructure development, industrial upgrading, scientific and technological advances and innovation, environmental protection, consumer spending, and the social programs. China has enormous potential in domestic demand, rich human resources, a generally sound financial system, and adequate room for macroeconomic policy adjustment. China is working hard to turn pressure into driving force and challenges into opportunities, minimize the impact of the international financial crisis, and maintain steady and relatively fast growth. We have reasons to remain cautiously optimistic. So this year, China's GDP will grow about 8%. We will continue to take forceful measures to maintain steady and fast economic growth and contribute its share to an early recovery of the world economy. We have full confidence of realizing the major goals of economic and social development this year. The aforementioned measures and their success will not only benefit China, but also bring great business opportunities to other countries. Certainly Canada is included. In the face of the international financial crisis, we will continue to follow the basic state policy of opening up and unswervingly pursue a win-win strategy in opening to the outside world. It is our firm belief that a more dynamic and open China will be in a better position to not only maintain our own steady and relatively fast economic growth at home, but also contribute to the global efforts to tackle the financial crisis and promote world peace and development. So I'd like to turn a little bit on the role of Hong Kong in China-Canada trade. Ladies and gentlemen, located at the mouth of the Pearl River Delta, Hong Kong naturally becomes the gateway for trade with China and the regional center for operation for Southeast Asia. Hong Kong's unparalleled financial, marketing, and technical expertise largely amends mainland's burgeoning manufacturing and service bases. The combination led to a win-win relationship. Trade between the mainland and Hong Kong reached $203.67 billion in 2008, up by 3.3% year on year, thus making Hong Kong the fifth largest trading partner and third largest export market for the mainland. As the end of the 2008, direct investment of Hong Kong in mainland China totaled $349.57 billion in 298,600 projects, so about 40.6% of the total FDI China absorbed over the years. In the past 3 decades, Hong Kong's role has also gradually shifted from a trading intermediary to a window for finance and technology, then to a service center for manufacturers, now a major listing and operating base for mainland enterprises. In recent years, Hong Kong has consolidated its role as mainland's asset management center as it began to develop renminbi and wealth management business. So Hong Kong and the mainland became more interconnected with the signing of closer economic partnership arrangement in mid-2003, which is known as the CEPA. While some people may worry that as the central government increases its input to Shanghai, Hong Kong and Shanghai will rival to become China's top financial centers. Well, indeed, competition for investment and status might be inevitable, but if we only sleep on that thought, we should be missing the point. The Chinese government pays close attention to the development of Hong Kong's financial sector. The central government has done much to bolster Hong Kong's economy, particularly in times of trouble. So after the recent meeting between Premier Wen Jiabao and Honorable Donald Tsang, head of Hong Kong SAR, during the Boao Forum, the central government announced the decision to allow Hong Kong banks in mainland and the Ministry of Finance to issue RMB bonds in Hong Kong and facilitate access to firms there that want to borrow money and sell goods in mainland. The message is strong and clear. The mainland is there when Hong Kong is in need. Hong Kong has no reason to fear. Its status as an international financial center is irreplaceable, given its unique geographical advantages, a long history of financial management, extensive channels of financial operation, a full-fledged legal system, a rich pool of financial expertise. As the 2009 Blue Paper, released by the Chinese Academy of Social Science, which is a top Chinese research institute, singled out Hong Kong as the most competitive Chinese city of the year. More recently, the central government has initiated a pilot program in Hong Kong which uses the RMB as settlement currency for trade in goods. So the program will invigorate Hong Kong's financial industry and help its local companies and those in the Pearl River Delta and the mainland to stay off exchange rate fluctuations and enhance China's economy stability in the long run. So a new supplement to CEPA will be signed. I thought this year, but this morning in my meeting with Secretary of Finance, I was told that it would be signed this week to further open mainland's market to Hong Kong's service sector. And the central government has adopted the long-term plan for reforming and developing the Pearl River Delta. The plan will help the mainland, Hong Kong, and Macau to build on their respective advantages, enhance cooperation, and draw on each other's strengths. So, ladies and gentlemen, trade and investment has always been and will continue to be an important driver behind the growth of bilateral relations. China-Canada two-way trade started small decades ago from simple commodity trade and has evolved into an all-dimensional relationship covering trade in commodity and services, capital flows, and the personnel exchanges. And last year, our total bilateral trade volume reached $34.3 billion, topping the target of $30 billion set by our state leaders for the year 2010. At the same time, Canadian investment in China has grown to nearly $6.2 billion, and China's investment in Canada is also steadily increasing. That seems good enough, but if we put the figures in the context of each of our economies and our trade performances, we see a large gap between what it should be and what it is now. Despite the leapfrog increase, our two-way trade makes up far less than 5% of each other's total foreign trade mix. Canadian investment in China, though witnessed a 14% growth in 2007, only accounted for 0.3% in its total investment abroad, 2008. While China's FDI in Canada is only a paltry 0.1%. But here I learned a figure from your former colleague in February at the seminar in Edmonton that Hong Kong's investment in Canada is $10 billion. So it's much larger and greater than what mainland China has invested so far in Canada. Well, that obviously does not reflect the nature of the strong complementarities of our two economies and way far from what it should look like. Our two economic are highly complementary, with Canada being the largest developed country in terms of land mass and major natural resources power in the world, and China being the largest developing country and the fastest developing economy in the world. Now, China is Canada's fourth largest export market, and second largest trading partner, only behind the US. Canada is China's 11th largest trading partner. Canada is an energy and resources superpower, and with China's continuing development momentum and construction boom, I firmly believe that we can create another record in two-way trade and investment. Canada certainly boasts full-fledged banking and insurance services, and your knowledge and expertise in keeping the financial sector on a sound footing in this turbulent time is surely a source of emulation for the many. Canada is also home to a number of cutting-edge technologies in clean energy and environmental protection. It is among world leaders in aerospace, information and communication technologies, wireless technology, and health science areas such as biotech, e-medicine, and biomedical equipment. Canadian companies with infrastructure and transportation technologies enjoy a long and solid reputation in China. Besides, with the surge of China's investment abroad, more and more Chinese firms are looking to Canada for potentials, a win-win arrangement. So the gateway strategy, both on the west and on the east coast in Canada, could provide good opportunities for more joint ventures and partnership. So history has proven that China and Canada can engage in mutually beneficial cooperation. In today's world, such bilateral cooperation has become even more important for both sides. In light of the current situation, it is only natural that our two countries work even closer together to cope with the difficult times. Some of you may have heard that the Chinese word for the crisis, we say in Mandarin, 危机, is made of two characters, one for danger or risk, the other for opportunity. So while these are certainly days of crisis for all of us, there is also an opportunity for us to join hands together to meet the challenges and correct some of the underlying instabilities. But to move this current relationship forward, we need more bolder steps and the political will to take hold of the immense opportunities and turn them into realities. Opportunity knocks but once, and time and tide wait for no man. China-Canada trade volume simply failed to meet the expectations, so the answer is not tomorrow, but now. While success stories are already happening, I'm pleased to see that many of them are represented here today. Banks like RBC and BMO are among the first in exploring business opportunities in China after China opened its financial sector. PCCW Global, a leading carrier, has some 2,000 employees in mainland China and enabled IP VPN coverage through more than 50 cities. In 2008, the company jointly provided high-definition Olympic programs to TVB in Hong Kong with China Netcom. The Canadian insurance companies like Manulife has become a major industry player in China with over 30 offices across the country, and it was the exclusive life insurance partner of Beijing 2008 Olympics. Canada made high-speed locomotives and buses equipped with Canadian hybrid engines are running on the streets of Beijing and other cities. Canadian companies are helping to make Beijing cleaner by sharing its technology in waste control and sewage treatment. And early this year, Research in Motion, RIM, one of the proud brands of Canada, I saw many of you have BlackBerry, announced its plan to work with Lenovo to promote new mobile solutions that better connect Lenovo ThinkPad laptop computers and the BlackBerry smartphone. Through integration with Dragonair and cooperation agreement with Air China, Cathay Pacific now provides the best China and North America network. So ladies and gentlemen, a stronger tri-partnership between China, Hong Kong, and Canada is the core of the times. For many Canadian companies that wish to do business in China, Hong Kong certainly is the ideal place to start. The city is an extraordinary embodiment of the East and the West. It has attracted thousands of companies from the world over. In Hong Kong, people, goods, capital, and information flows freely. There are no barriers to trade, no restrictions on investments inward and outward, and no nationality restrictions on corporate and sectorial stewardship. Infrastructure is excellent, and vessel turnarounds among the fastest in the world. So this city's expertise in commerce, finance, shipping, and construction provides the necessary pool of experienced professionals to promote dispute settlements, and the crime receives zero tolerance. So working with Hong Kong also guarantees Canadian companies a networking advantage. More than 400 million companies are listed on the stock exchange of Hong Kong, and at least 1,800 million backed companies or enterprises are registered in Hong Kong, along with several Chinese banks and many representative offices. With the help of Hong Kong, you will know the Chinese market better. Canada's economic relations with China, among the many fine examples, Hong Kong's unique position and the competence in driving trade among China, Hong Kong, and Canada. And brilliant and outstanding experts like you can help to seek better prospects for a tri-partnership through dialogue and exchanges. So to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to say that through all these years, I've learned that while business is like also diplomacy, it is not about the meetings, the agenda, or the even who gets what. It is eventually about people, you, me, and everyone else that are to benefit from what we in China, Hong Kong, and Canada will achieve together. By strengthening the tri-partnership, we will not only increase the wealth of ourselves, but also the Asia Pacific and the world beyond. It is time for collective action, and I'm sure that we'll be able to make a huge difference. So finally, I wish to thank you again for inviting me to this occasion. And your support is critical in moving ahead China-Canada bilateral relationship, economic and trade cooperation, and beyond. And I believe that with perseverance and careful planning, we shall prevail the financial turmoil and bring the tri-partnership between China, Hong Kong, and Canada to a new height. Once again, my warm congratulations on your 25th anniversary and the best wishes, and also wish you a great success of this forum. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Ambassador Lan. As mentioned, we would like to now open up for a few questions from the audience. And as Dave mentioned, please use the stationery at your table, write down your questions, and our volunteers will come around in one of the black jackets to collect your question.